brand new power steering unit I'm going to be replacing here in my Buick. Got it halfway torn apart. There's the old one right there. I'm going to go ahead and replace the hoses and the lines to it as well. Might as well do all brand new stuff. That way I don't have to touch the gun for a long time. What's wrong with my old one is just that it didn't go out. It's actually the seal. The main seal goes right about around here. It's leaking really bad. So the best thing is just to replace the whole thing. Got the old one out. Got half the job done anyways. So I got the radiator shroud off, the cover there. Got the alternator out. Belts, the old power steering unit that used to be right there. It's gone. And there's the alternator there. Make sure you always disconnect the battery before doing this type of work. When you start taking off the alternator and if the battery's still connected and it starts making contact, then you'll see it spark for sure. Get this pulley out, and I got a power steering pulley remover here, and I gotta put this old pulley on the new unit. And being that I got it tore apart here, I'm gonna change the belts, and they're pretty bad. There you go. So I'd say they're definitely worth changing. What do you think? I put these belts on myself when the car had, let's see, 210,000 miles. And it now has 317,000 and some. So that's 107,000 miles on these belts. I think I'll go ahead and change them. It'll be a wise decision. You guys know the way I do things. I'm going to degrease the engine here on these areas that I normally can't reach. And on your new power steering unit, it always has these green plastic plugs that go there. And there's always oil that will come inside of the new unit. And what that does, it keeps the seals intact and keeps them good there. So there's always oil inside, so make sure that you're aware of that before you start moving it around. Well, after a little work and some pounding, the pulley came out, and you can see that built-up oil there, where it's leaking out of that seal I mentioned. Being that this part is only, or the whole power steering pump is only about $48 plus tax, 50 bucks. It's just easier to replace it than try to replace that seal. Okay, now I gotta put the pulley back on the new power steering pump. Well, now that I got everything kind of cleaned up, and definitely everything is in its place, we can see that I've installed the brand new V-belts, drive belts, and also I've replaced the power steering unit that was causing a mess. I've replaced it with a new remanufactured one. And now that the topic of drive belts has come up, I should mention about their adjustment. In order to check the proper adjustment, with your finger go to each belt and push down on it. And there shouldn't be any more than a ½ inch max of deflection in either direction. They cannot be too tight, they cannot be too loose. So that's a good standard, is about a ½ inch max of deflection in either direction. To adjust them, you can see there's an adjustment point here on the compressor by loosening that bolt. There's another one like it on the alternator as well. And using a crowbar, they can be adjusted and tightened. Also, with a good heavy ratchet, there's a square hole on the compressor that you would also use in your adjustment procedure. Newer cars have serpentine belts, which are actually self-adjusting, but you should be mindful of their adjustment and visually inspect them in either case. Well, no job is complete on your car unless you do a road test. And since I did replace the belts, including the power steering belt, there shouldn't be any squealing when you full lock the steering wheel in either direction. None there, and to the left, and none there. Yeah, she's running as strong as ever. And now that everything has been adjusted properly and the belts are new, it does feel a little tighter now on the road. And I can definitely feel that things are exactly the way they should be. A job well done.